All right, I'm back. Sorry about I had to turn off the light for a bit. Um, so how are you guys doing? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Islamic podcast. Sorry about not having a camera. But before we get started, let's get on with the intro. Sorry for the little late intro. Here it is. All right. So how are you guys doing? So inshallah, today we're going to be reacting to an interview on that was done on Talk East Turkestan channel, and in this interview, but before I get to anything, let me just again let's read the hadith. So in this hadith, I think it's going to make it clear why we should talk about the Uyghur issue, and it's not because of some human rights reason. Okay, the reason I want to talk about this is because it's Sunnah. Okay, so if you guys can see this, this hadith is Sahih Muslim, 2699. It's a Sahih hadith. Abu Huraira reported, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever relieves the hardship of a believer in this world, Allah will relieve the hardship on the day of resurrection. Whoever helps ease one in difficulty, Allah will make it easy for him in this world and the hereafter." So basically, what this hadith shows is that it is very, very important for us to speak out against any kind of oppression. Brother Muhammad Omar said, "Assalamu alaikum." Wa alaikum assalam, bro. How are you? Thanks for joining the stream. So, what the Prophet ﷺ is emphasizing is that it is very, very important for us to talk about when Muslims are in trouble or relieve the stress of Muslims, right? Because if we don't do it, then no one's gonna do it. Okay, and this is why we should speak out about these things. We should speak out when what's happening in Palestine. We should speak about what's happening in India. We should speak about what's happening in in Gaza and all these other places. Also, this is why we should speak out about this issue when it happens in China. And I've already made a video on this about Imran Khan, and if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out. Muslim leaders have been silent on this issue for a very long time, and this is the thing. This is why we should speak out. It's because it's Sunnah. It's not because of some human rights reason. And I say this all the time. Like people think that they should speak about this issue because of human rights. And I see a lot of kind of like activists. They like fall into this liberal trap, and they say like, "Oh, we're doing this for human rights." No, no. Just talk about the hadith. Show them that this is what Islam teaches. This is what our religion teaches. And if you guys agree with this, then support us. Okay, don't say that it's for like human rights reason, because they stole this value from us. Okay, and this is why we should do it, because it's Sunnah. We have to speak out for our brothers and sisters. We have to have some kind of protective jealousy, right? We have to care for each other. Now, with that being said, I want to react to a video that I saw on Talk is Turkestan, and this video really was hard to watch because there's a sister that came along, and she spoke about this issue, spoke about what happened to her, and I'm going to react to it, and then I'm going to react to what the Chinese Communist Party said about her, basically their propaganda. Inshallah, I'll be debunking their propaganda. So yeah, let's get started, inshallah.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, dear brothers and sisters.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
So you've heard of Mihrigul Tursun before.
Okay, so this is Brother Arsal Al-Hidayat. In case you guys don't know, he's a Uyghur activist. He's very well-spoken, and he's very active in this field. So recently he interviewed Sister Mihrigul Tursun, and she's a concentration camp survivor. She survived a lot of horrible things. Inshallah, we'll hear her story. So yeah, let's take a look at this.
But today we are welcoming her to the first time on the TET podcast. So without further ado.
By the way, may I ask chat, do you guys know who she is? Or are you guys aware of what's happening in China? Chat? I know two people are watching. Can you guys answer in the chat? Let me know if you guys are aware of what's like even happening in China. That'd be helpful.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Mihrigul. How are you today?
Walaikum assalam. How are you, brother? I'm good. Thank you. Everything is good. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Now,
By the way, I do believe that she is currently residing in the US. She had a, I believe she gained citizenship there, if I'm not mistaken. And she is with her two child as of right now. Brother Muhammad Omar said that no, but I am aware. Okay, okay. Inshallah, we'll learn more through this. So
I'm sure everyone has heard of your name before, but for our audience, I would like you to sort of speak about yourself and what you went through in China's concentration camps today. Thank you.
By the way, the Chinese Communist Party doesn't like to call it concentration camps. They call it like education centers. Yeah, right, education centers. Because you take, and on education centers, you take people and you like RAP them, you execute them, you torture them. That's an education center, sure. I mean, like, and I'm gonna react to some of the like Chinese propaganda that's been put out against her as well. Inshallah, it's kind of hilarious, but the basically what the Chinese government will do everything in their power to deny this, and they already CGTN already put out like an article against her, slandering her, etc., etc. But I'm gonna react to it inshallah later on, and I'm gonna take it apart. Inshallah, we'll see.
Yeah. My name is Mihrigul Tursun, as a lot of people know me, maybe, and some people also don't know. I am from East Turkestan, Chechen County. I was in a concentration camp from 2015 to.
By the way, does anyone know what Charchankandi is? Is it like in is it in the Xinjiang province, or is it in like China? Let me know if anyone's from there.
Until 2018, I entered couple 3 times. Total is more than 13 months in the camp. But of course, outside camp also it's not free. The 3 year I was been watching from Chinese police official with me 24 hour, and yeah, it's from first time I was 2015 and March 15. I have my triplet born in Egypt, and they get Egyptian citizen. I raised 2 boy, 1 girl, and 2015 March, May 12, I go back to my homeland because my parents need to help me, and also they call me multiple times, want me come back. They want to see my little children, so I take them to go back East Turkestan. So when I arrived to 2015 May.
Okay, so before you continue, another reason I want to do this video is because even to this day, I see a lot of people supporting China, like a lot of Muslims. Okay, and it just pisses me off so much. I mean, like, are you like this ignorant? And like, this is one of the reason I wanted to do this is because people still don't believe this. People still don't believe that there's a this type of oppression is happening in China. So we need to like showcase and highlight these type of interviews and witness testimony to understand what's actually happening from the people who have actually experienced this. Okay, so
May 13 May 13 or 12 morning in the Urumqi airport. Then from 2 Chinese official wanted me ask some question, and they take me another room, and they take from me my triplet to another way. Then from airport, 1 room, me alone, and I have 2 police officials ask multiple questions.
Okay, so in case you guys don't realize what's happening here, so basically she went outside of the country, right? She went from China or Xinjiang province to Egypt, I believe. Okay, and this is a big no-no and this is a big no-no for the Chinese government because the Chinese government does not like it when the Uyghurs travel abroad. Okay, and the reason they don't like it, or the supposed reasoning they give, is that they believe that usually the Uyghurs, they basically treat all of them as terrorists. Okay, they treat all of them as terrorists. They see them as a potential threat. So whenever they go outside of the country, they think that they're like trying to be recruited by Al Qaeda or ISIS or something. And so this absolutely racist idea, and this piece of shits, they think that anyone who goes outside, any Uyghurs, is a terrorist. Okay, and like this is the same mentality that the Americans had about us Muslims, and this is the same shit, and they just haven't been able to get out of the Bush era. This is even worse than the Bush era kind of Islamophobia, right? And so they basically think this. And another reason they think this is because a lot of the criticism against the Chinese government, and this is what I heard, was from like Islamic scholars or like Islamists themselves. So they saw it as a potential threat, right? And they used this as an excuse to crack down on the Uyghurs. So this is why, even to this day, I believe that Uyghurs are not allowed to travel abroad. Or if they do travel abroad and they come back, they are put into these concentration camps to make sure that they haven't been brainwashed by Islam or Islamic ideology, right? And so basically the idea that the Communist Party has is like Islam as if like religion itself is like some kind of a disease, and they're trying to wipe out the disease. But in reality, the real disease is atheism, and they're like their type of strict communism. Okay, that's the real disease. But regardless, let's continue hearing her story.
more than 3 hours. Then that time they ask a lot of questions like what I'm doing in Egypt, and how many Uyghur I know in Egypt, and what I why I study another language like Arabic language, for example, and then why I go out from China, and then so I attend any like political like protest.
Yeah, you notice this? They're already interrogating her at the airport, at the airport, right? So basically, and the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to like check a bunch of lists to see if that like to put her in this like concentration camp to see if she fits like the profile maybe. And they usually target religious people. They don't target like non-religious people, from what I've heard or what I've seen. And actually they target everyone. They just have any excuse. Like there's one case, and I talked about this in my previous video, where a guy was like praying like 2 times a day, and that was like he was listed as a like supposed terrorist, right? And he was put into the camps. And then no one like his family members never heard of him. And if you guys want more detail, you can check out my previous video. But yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. They're not letting Muslims be Muslims. Like, I don't know what to call it. This is religious persecution. This is like the same way that Nazis treat like the Jews. This is worse actually, because I don't think the whole Nazi thing wasn't just. I think it was mostly ethnicity, but here it's not just ethnicity. They're directly targeting the religion. But regardless, let's continue with the
or something, some group. I say no. I don't understand it, even because I am a student in Egypt. I was studying bachelor in British University, and then I get married in Egypt. I don't know any about political issue even, and I don't do anything bad for Chinese because this is not my issue, I think. So I answer all the question. After that,
So, how old were your triplets at the time when you returned to your homeland?
at more than 2 months. Then they only more than 2 months, and they are very
okay. So this is important. Notice what she said. She said that her triplets were 2 months when she came to China. And this is going to be important because we're going to talk about this, because one of the propaganda pieces that the Chinese government uses against her, they made a huge error in this regard. But we're going to come to that, inshallah.
very healthy, and then as they are embraced, everything is so good. Then they take from my father, mother information, my family contact number in my homeland. Then after the 3 hour, I ask the police official, like, because all my thinking about my kids, I ask multiple times them, how about my children? Can I see them? And they need to breast, they need to milk, and they need to change diaper. I need to know, maybe they will cry, where is they? They didn't answer. They just me like say to me, shut up. Just you don't have to ask me any question. I cannot answer to you, but only I ask question from you. You need to answer.
How,
Just like
how long were you separated from your kids when they first interrogated you at the airport?
in the airport 3 hours. No, from airport to until they take me to the detention camp directly in Urumqi, Hijazan prison. After near to 3 months, then I go out to prison, and then I.
So can you guys imagine like being separated from like your child? And we're not just talking about like child as in like teenagers or whatever. Child is in like 3 to 2 months old. Like you, like they took her from her like 3 to 2 months-year-old babies away from her for like 3 months, and she hasn't seen them. On like what country, what like civilized country allows this? And this Chinese like Communist Party, they claim that they they uphold like human rights, like they uphold like moral values. They like to pretend that they're better than America. Right, you're better than America by separating children.
See them.
Don't get me
Like
wrong, America is pretty bad too, but I mean, it's disgusting.
So from the airport, they separated you from your kids. From
yes,
the airport, you were taken to 3 months detention, and you saw them 3 months later.
yes. So all this time I didn't know about where is my children, who will take care of them, how about their health. I don't know. Yeah.
And so,
So
3 months later, what happened when you saw
3
your
months
children?
later, they told me I have to permanent time to go out from this camp because my kids, they think about, they are very humanity. They think about my kids because my little kids have sick. They need to, maybe I need to take care of them little bit time. Then they let me outside short permanent time. That times I am in blacklist. They take my.
By the way, this is complete bullshit. Like they don't care about the kids. Okay, they took her kids is because probably because they have a policy to like make sure that the Uyghurs don't have too much children or too many children, because they also see this as a threat, right? Because if the Uyghur Muslim population becomes larger, right, then it's a problem for the Han Chinese people. Okay, that's probably the reason why they did this. But they're saying like they did it for like humanitarian reason to take care of them or whatever. But that's complete nonsense.
For my cell phone, my passport, Chinese passport, my ID, and then they give me one letter. I'm 24-hour by the Chinese official watching me, and if I do anything, if I speak with anybody, if I go anywhere, I need to take permission from police office. I sign this paper, and then when I go outside, then I go to directly same day the Urumqi Children's Hospital. This is by the Chinese calling Urumqi Arting Yuan. It's Urumqi Children's Hospital. Then I see this, my 3 children is 3 different floor. My daughter and their mice, they have a surgery from their neck, and they have oxygen mask their mouth, and they are only little open their eyes and all the time crying. But anyway, I hear their voice. I feeling like, I finally I see them. I'm happy, but I didn't know what happened for them, and they are become very more small. Then another, I am very clearly remember this Urumqi Children's Hospital, floor 9 floor is this ICU room, like special care room. They take me to upstairs, and then they didn't want me allowed to enter the room. They just let me see from the outside glass to see me kids. This is Muhammad, and your son, and inside he take oxygen. He need to tomorrow to get surgery, but you cannot enter now because this room is cannot nobody enter. Only doctor enter. I say, I am the mom. I cannot. I didn't see them more than near to 3 months. I need to see them. He said, no, tomorrow you can see. But that time I didn't see, is this really my son, or I didn't see face, and they have oxygen mask, and they have like a lot of machine behind him. So I see, I cannot enter, I cannot see them. Then second day, the morning, and then my father let me know we need to take children from hospital. I say okay, and then we coming to hospital. Then they give to the doctor say want me sign paper, and I say what is this paper? They say sorry, your Muhammad son morning passed away, so you need to sign paper, and we give you his dead body. Then that time I shock. I like I don't know this feeling. Maybe if you know you have kids, you feel that. I asked doctor what happened. Why is this? Yesterday you told me he is healthy, and why he is passed away? I don't believe. Give me my son. And then
So can it can you imagine just what just happened here? So basically they took her child, right? They took her child saying that they're gonna treat her or treat the baby, and the next day they give the baby back to her, and the baby is dead. Like that's like, I don't know what to say. I mean, like, this is like, I mean, and the thing is that what makes this even worse is that unless like you have children, and this is something we won't understand actually, unless you're like a woman who has a child, because I want to share with you guys a story, right? And the story is basically, so when I was my brother was young, my mother actually got a job at a school actually, and basically she used to go to the same school that my brother used to study in, right? And one day my mom, she was actually became a teacher in my brother's class, right? And so basically at that time all the kids used to call my mom, madam, or teacher. And my brother also used to call my mom a teacher as well, because he has to call her that. What's interesting is that my mom didn't like it, because why is like my child calling me a teacher or a madam, right? As a matter of fact, she hated it so much she literally quit the job. She literally quit the job because she did not want her son to call her a madam instead of mother, right? She hated that. And when I wallahi, when I heard the story, it always makes me emotional. This just shows how much mothers actually care for her child. And it's not something you'll understand. They're like this type of bond is not something you'll understand unless you have a child, right? Unless you bear a child. And then to hear that when you have this child and this child is like taken from you, and they promised you that they're going to treat her, the child, the baby, and instead they give the baby back to you, and the baby is dead. So like what do you do in this situation? Like what are you supposed to do? And what's worse and what's absolutely disgusting about this is that recently the Chinese Communist Party, or and their like shill propaganda propaganda channel, which is like CGTN, and I already made a video exposing CGTN. CGTN is a complete Chinese run state media. They constantly put out propaganda against the Uyghurs, and they lie about the Uyghurs, and they did the same with the sister. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look briefly take a look at what they said about her, and I'm going to expose them. Okay, so bear with me. I'm gonna uh, pull up the rubbish article that they wrote. Okay, so here it is. Hold on, let me just share the screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear the audio. I'm just gonna play the video because the article is just complete rubbish. I don't want to read it, but I'm gonna play the video, inshallah. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio.
ما منن چون نورم ما مؤزه ازر مصر ده yaşavattu.
Joy's words from the mother of Mihrigul Tursun, a Uyghur woman who said on CNN that one of her three children died in a Urumqi hospital. During the interview, Tursun said,
By the way, did you notice? So they put out this like propaganda video right after she went to CNN. So I found it kind of interesting. But regardless, let's take a look at this. By the way, this is a news article, propaganda a news article against trying to bash sister Mihrun. Is that her name? Sister Mihrigul. So basically, they try to bash her. They try to make it seem like she's lying, whatever. They made a bunch of false accusation against her. So let's take a look at this.
Said she was separated from her triplets at the Urumqi airport and held in custody. After her release, she says she was told that her son died following an operation. This is Urumqi.
By the way, did you notice that? I'm gonna come back to the. Hold on. Yeah.
This is Urumqi
wait.
children operation.
Okay, did you see that? These are like 2-month-old babies, right? They're showing this picture of like 2-month-old babies. Okay, let's continue.
This is Urumqi Children's Hospital, where Mihrigul Tursun claims one of her triplets died, a claim that a hospital adamantly denies. Dr. Li Xue.
the hospital adamantly device. Yeah, no shit. They're run by the Chinese government. Of course, they're going to deny this. It's like the sky is blue, dude. So dumb. Like, can you imagine how stupid? Like, these are supposed to be like this, like today's superpower, right? And they're so dumb. Like, if you're gonna make a propaganda piece, like at least put some brain thought into it, right? At least put some brain on it. Like, you guys are so stupid. At least Americans are kind of they're not dumb. Their Islamophobia propaganda piece is also stupid, but it's even more stupid. Okay, so this is basically appeal to false authority. They're appealing to a false authority. Okay, the Chinese Communist Party or their hospital records are not reliable. Okay, they're the one under investigation. Okay, this is like trying like the Nazis using a Nazi court. Makes no sense.
Your family talk to me.
And this is hilarious. Check out, by the way, notice the body movement of the person being interviewed. So this is like supposedly her brother.
Tursun, and what did she respond? 나중에
But did you notice this? The guy keeps looking at this, looking at the side.
Father,
You see this?
얼른 입안.
He is extremely scared. This is clearly a false, like, forced interview. Okay, you can see this. This guy's scared shitless.
네. 쉬에 쉬하다 비신.
You see this? He keeps looking at the camera like this. Like, no one talks like this in an interview.
줄이면 father 제시 내용.
There's and WeChat, someone was threatening her. So basically, they're trying to make it seem like like America is like forcing her to give like this false testimony or whatever.
有些人在国外威胁他，有些坏人威胁他，也回不了中国也。
She cannot come back to China. Also, just think about it. Like, why would someone, if China was so amazing for her, right? Why would someone go to a foreign country and then lie about, her being persecuted if China is so amazing? Like, that just doesn't make sense. Like, any person with a common sense would know this.
也留不下，在国外。
Not only did Mihrigul fabricate the story about her child's death, she also made accusations about China's education and training center in Xinjiang. She claims she was jailed and tortured, and she saw fellow prisoners die in detention.
我姐姐从来就没去过，也没。
Yeah, so basically you can clearly tell that this guy is being forced to give this testimony. And the thing is that Chinese government puts out this nonsense all the time. So they put out like these fake documents and like pictures from like years ago, and then saying that it's her like baby. But regardless, so this is like their kind of like a nonsense propaganda piece. But regardless, let's continue with the video.
And then my father signed this paper. Then they take my kids, give me his eyes body. They put in him to freezer. So I feel like very, very upset. And then I don't know how to explain this feeling. Then I scream like, give me something.
By the way,
blank.
Some of her child that was like supposedly that was like put in that they like performed some kind of operation on them, and they're still scars. Like, they still have scars. Like, one of them are still like have like this type of scars, and she was also tortured, and she's going to talk about this. She has scars of this. And like, why would someone like lie like that? It makes no sense. Like, imagine this. Like, imagine one day you're just living in China, and China is being all amazing to you. Then you just go to a foreign country and you just start lying. Does that make sense to you? That makes absolutely no sense. And like, the thing is that with like Chinese media and the Chinese government, they have every reason to lie. Okay, they have every reason to lie, but she has no reason to lie. Like, this is just common logic.
I want to give one of my kids. Why you put him to freezer and then I
Also, please understand that she has family members even now in China. Okay, so if she speaks out, this automatically puts her families in danger, which again shows she has no reason to lie to risk her life like this.
him to wake up. I try to let him to wake up. I kiss him, but all his body eyes, and then I don't know. I flow downstairs because I'm very angry and very, I don't know. I just feeling I cannot explain. Sorry.
You mentioned that when you first saw your daughter and your son in one of the other levels, they had a hole in their throats. Can you explain why they had a?
Yeah, they until now they are now 6-year-old have like if you see
Scar.
Yes, they make surgery from the right neck, both 3 kilos.
Why? For what? Why did they do that?
I don't know. The doctor doesn't tell me. I say I need to know. I need to their document. Why you do surgery for them? Because they are born very healthy. And they play with me in the airplane and love.
By the way, her kids still have these scars. If you like, she can show those scars to you. Like, if you go to her, I'm sure. And like, yeah.
And so healthy. After I see this is like horrible kid is my son. My son, his head is little big, but he's so small. And then my daughter, his eyes is become like cross. And then as this Mohammed and they give me that body, I'm very upset that you gave me torture. Okay, but what you do for my children? What happened? They didn't answer. They didn't give me any document. Just want me sign paper to want the exit hospital, and I sign paper. And then I take out my kids, but until now they are both 2 children is disabled. If you see the knees, you know my mouse is not normal. His down his stomach down is not feeling. He is until now wear diaper, poo and pee. Everything is diaper. He don't have feeling. And my daughter, his eyes is cannot see good, like more than 1,000 something.
So basically, how they were treated when they were babies, they are still going through ailments. So your son has trouble controlling his stomach, and your daughter is cross-eyed at the moment. Is that what?
Yes, cross-eyed at the moment, and they cannot see good also. If I am in take of glass, I am like 6 feet far away. If I call her, he search me. Where are you, mommy? Like she search me. And then the doctor also see his eyes inside have a lot of white something coming, start more and more. They don't know, maybe up before 18 years, they need surgery if maybe fix or maybe cannot forever cannot see his eyes. I don't know, but I don't know why they are doing that for my children until now. But you see, like it's the CGTV in Chinese channels. They show some document like this is Mihrigul Tursun document.
Yeah. Now
she's
talking
go
about
out from hospital and she is healthy. She signed the paper, all fake paper. Date of birthday my kids is fake. I see my kid's birthday is March 15, 2015, my children born. And the Chinese government, the documents show me April 16 and 2015. And
so yeah, you notice that she's actually talking about the CGT and interview. So apparently they basically changed, they give like wrong information on like their propaganda piece. So basically her son's birthday is changed in the paper. It's not accurate, like what she told them.
my kid's name also Moez, the Chinese words, because I screen this document, I save in my computer because they are fake document, and under the parent's signature is it's somebody writing Maria, but Chinese. I don't think they know they have my ID. To my Chinese ID is Mihrigul Tursun, and I everywhere I signed by the Uyghur words and Mihrigul Tursun. So everything is fake. I know they are lying.
So basically they kind of like put in the and just this is the same video I showed you guys, right? So basically they put her name wrong. They said like it's written something like Maria or whatever, but her name is Mihrigul, right? So yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's
So,
like
so you say you went to the camps 3 times. You were released because your children were in hospital. What happened after they handed your, the body of your child that passed away? What happened after that?
yeah. After that, we need to let him to put in the like cemetery. It's called cemetery. Yeah, and my 3 children is they have Egyptian passports. They are not Chinese citizen, and it's in Urumqi. Very not easy to get any cemetery for foreigner. So after we pay some money for some people, and we find that this is like a refugee cemetery place, and we're gonna put there, but it's Chinese police doesn't allow to my kids even enter the mosque to pray for them, because in we are Muslim, everybody pass away.
Yeah, this is something they don't allow Uyghurs to do. Like they don't allow Uyghurs to go to the mosque. Okay, just think about this for a second. Like we go to the mosque like every Friday, and they are not even allowed to go to the mosque. Like if you go to the mosque, you're seen as a potential threat. You're seen as a potential terrorist. And again in my previous video I talked about this, where they basically have put one guy who just simply prayed like 2 times a day on the mosque, and that was seen as a crime for a reason to imprison him. Okay, they've been like put out in a document sheet, and I showed this, and yeah.
We need to take them to mosque and pray. Like they don't allow to my kids do that, and they don't allow to anybody come to our home. So directly only my father and the mother and me and the 2 police car. They are from our back. They go allowed us. They want to see us. They go with us like this Urumqi refugee cemetery, and someone.
So you were not allowed to perform the janaza or the funeral
Yes.
prayer for your child.
Yes, doesn't allow, and we put.
So they didn't even allow her to like do janaza for her kid, right? So basically, her kid died, and and they didn't even allow her to do the janaza, and they're saying that she's like her baby is alive. Like, how much of a piece of shit like do you have to be? First of all, to be so negligent that you kill a baby, or like cannot like properly treat a baby, or probably killed the baby. Who knows? With these people, they most probably killed the baby, and or maybe the baby died because of negligence or whatever. And by the way, what she said earlier is kind of important, because she said that she didn't. There was many babies there, right? It's likely that maybe they're taking away these babies from the Uyghurs to make sure that they can take them and brainwash them in their own way. But maybe because there's so many babies, they cannot take care of all of them. So some of them dies, or they didn't treat them properly, and then they don't even let them pray the janaza. And this is what's
we
happening.
take them to in a refugee cemetery. Someone, he has a mother, and behind his mother we put his land, and I cannot do anything. I just put like one wood, put his head. I cannot writing his name. I cannot do anything. They don't want allowed anything. Even we cannot like dua. We cannot do pray because the police watching us. We just inside do something, pray, and then I let my son like this in Urumqi. It's in my life. It's very horrible, before, because this is my first children, and they do very bad for my life. Then, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for making you upset.
No, it's okay.
After
Yeah, and this piece of shit, kind of like Chinese Communist Party, they're accusing her of lying. Like, how much of a piece of shit do you have to be to like deny? First of all, you're such a piece of shit that you can't even take care of your own citizens. Okay, you treat them like terrorists. You treat them like second-class citizens. You're racist. Like, you put them in prison. How much of a cowardly, like, kind of like cowardly piece of shit do you have to be? Like, these are like women and children. You put them in prison, and because you're scared of them, like scared of like little children, scared of like religious people, scared of religion, and then on top of it, you're not letting them pray their janaza.
there wasn't a funeral, but after the burial, what happened?
And then you're accusing them of lying.
After that, I must go back my homeland, Charjan, because they say in our this is birth certificate, like I don't know what is it, Huku.
Yeah. So your residential certificate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even if you have home in Urumqi, we cannot stay allowed to stay in Urumqi. So every people they go back their this where his residential document to the city.
Yeah.
So please, ever they coming to our room, we just allowed to stay 2 days. Please enter our room like we want us get out from this home. They want to put sticker like
like a cross.
Yes, like a cross sticker, and doesn't want anybody enter. Like they want close my home because we are not resident in Urumqi. Even this home is our home under name. We cannot leave this place. Then we go to my father, mother, and my another 2 children. We go back to Charjan, and then I go directly. Charjan is also have directly from bus station to police again take us to come to home. From that time start until I go out until 2015, April 22. I go out from my homeland. So until the time is every 2 weeks, 2 Chinese men change, different Chinese men to stay with us, my parents' home with me, 24 hours.
So you have Chinese officials living with you in your homes?
Yes, in our home.
Why?
Yeah, so this is something I also heard from other like detainees and other kind of like Uyghur victims, which is that they actually surveillance you to the point where they actually send like Han Chinese men to live inside your home. Okay, so talk about like home invasion. Like this, they're literally like sending people like Han Chinese people to make sure that these people like they're under control. Okay, I mean that's how much they're scared of them. Like they're literally sending people to live with the Uyghurs to make sure that they don't disobey or like they don't go out of line.
What's the purpose of this?
This is say because I am a dangerous person one, and blacklist people, and then my family is because dangerous people family, and then one issue. One is this is police official.
By the way, speaking of which, so in case you guys didn't see this, so basically the Chinese propaganda, like a kind of news article that they put out, they said that her baby is alive. Okay, fine, fair enough. Then show us. Why didn't you show us the baby? If the baby is alive, show us the baby, right? It's so easy. Like they can go to Egypt, right? They can go to Egypt, and supposedly this baby is alive. Then show us the baby. Where's the baby? Like they just put out a picture and saying that, oh look, this is the picture, and she is alive because he was taken in 2016. I mean, yeah, she was like the baby was alive in 2016. No one disputing that. But then why don't you show the baby right now? If the baby is alive right now, show the baby. But no, instead they just showed a bunch of picture. Because if the baby was actually alive, they would have go to her husband, or like her, what did they say, like her husband's brother-in-law is like taking care of the baby. Go to her, right? Go to her and show us the baby. This would like expose her completely, right? But they can't do that because they're freaking lying. They're lying. Okay, they're lying about her baby being alive. Because if her baby was actually alive, they would have went to like Egypt, and they would have confirmed it, but they didn't, because her baby is not alive, and they know this full well. But regardless, let's continue.
They don't tell us this is police officials. They say this is our family, like Chinese make family.
So they call themselves your relatives.
Yes.
They say. Okay. Your Chinese relatives.
Yes. Of course, any Uyghur doesn't have Chinese relative.
And what would these so-called Chinese relatives do in your home?
They stay with us. They just take some clothes back for them, change their clothes, and they eat us and sleep with us our home. So from that time is like I feeling I am in person. At my parents' home, I didn't allow to talk my mother, my father normally. I cannot cry, I cannot pray, I cannot talk anything. Even my mom, my father cannot ask me like, what happened? You are 2 months from airport directly coming, and where are you going? Are you prison or camp, or what happened for you? Why they are take you to there, and what they are?
So basically, even after like she is released from the concentration camps, they still are policing her. They're still making sure that she doesn't go anywhere or she doesn't go abroad. They literally have people inside our home, and this is something I've talked about this. And there's this YouTuber called Vosh, and he made a very long stream in regarding to the Uyghur issue, and he found some Chinese document where it showed that apparently Chinese government has mandated like Chinese Han Chinese kind of like neighbors, and he showed like the documents that they're mandating them to keep an eye on the Uyghurs. Okay, they're literally telling them to keep an eye on the Uyghurs, and some of these people are literally going into their houses and staying with them. Imagine this: some strange man coming into your house and staying with you. Subhanallah.
Are asking no. My father, mother don't know anything, and they cannot ask me any question, because after when I ask my mom, you are as a mom, why you don't ask me what happened? And congratulations, you have baby, and why your baby has this? Why you don't talk to me? Why you don't ask me any question? She just show me like this. I understand at home is have somebody listen.
So that's basically what happened. So basically, they send people in her house to make sure that her parents or her family members cannot talk to the media or say anything that they don't want them to say. Okay. And that's exactly what you guys saw in the CGTN propaganda piece. They were being forced to give testimony, because if you looked at the guy who was talking, he was extremely scared and he kept looking at the camera because he's being given direction. Okay. And this is something you'll notice in forced interviews. And this is why there's a media body in UK, and they blocked CGTN, because CGTN is known for taking forced confession out of victims, like out of people. And of course, they already do that outside of China. So imagine what they will do inside China, right?
I feeling like all family I lost, very cold. I feeling very alone. Sometimes I need to cry. I go to the bathroom, open the washing machine. I put my head in the washing machine and scream and cry, and I go out. But I cannot allow to stay more than 5 minutes in bathroom. If I go bathroom 5 minutes, the police officer, Mihrigul, what are you doing? Are you shower, or are you what are you doing? Can you go outside? Yeah. So even our home, I go kitchen. I go. Sometimes we cannot freely stay at home. Sometimes sometimes my father go outside buy something, and I stay with mom, my mom and me. We are scary because they are doing something bad, like hug us, something like very bad, and we are scary. So because issue, of course, I cannot go outside. If I go outside, one of the police officials go with me. If I go to buy CVS, some diaper, some medicine, and of course, also I need a lot of paper, writing paper. I go this market, buy this
By the way,
diaper,
can I just
and I
say
come in
something
5
about
minutes.
this, like cock police officers, Chinese police officer? Like, how much of a like I don't know, like how much of a simp, like Chinese simp, do you have to be to like literally go into some stranger's house and like stay with them because your government tells you to do that? Like, how much of a government simp do you have to be for that, right? Like, I wonder if there's any like Chinese police officers who does this type of stuff is watching this. Like what do you tell to your like family members? Like, do you say that, oh, today I stayed with this like stranger's house because my government tells me to? I mean, like, these people literally worship their government. That's literally what's happening. Like if you're, I mean, seriously, like if your government like tells you to eat shit, are you going to eat shit? Like, is that how much you love the Chinese Communist Party? Like, this is pathetic. Like, these people have literally replaced God with like their government. Like, and this is why nationalism is such a disgusting thing. Is because it takes you away from the true essence of uh, it kind of takes you away from your fitra, right? Because our fitra is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to worship God, and to listen to God. But because of this atheist kind of communist regime, what they're doing is they're trying to block that, right? They're trying to replace that with like this all kinds of like garbage, such as loyalty to the country, right? And these people are so blind and so loyal to the country that they'll literally go to some stranger's house, take their baby, right, and like just stay with them. Subhanallah, this is incredible. Like,
year ago, I signature, and then the police also come with me. I signature, and they come with me also. They see me what I'm doing. Even in the street, I cannot talk anybody. If someone know me, look at me. We cannot say hi. Or a lot of family want to see me. Oh, Mihrigul, what time you coming? You was in Egypt. How you coming? You had baby? No talk, no speak. Like everything is total difficult.
Could you explain what happened to you in the camps? What did you see? What did you go through?
Yeah.
Please.
And then from 2017, April 17, the Chinese official want me, I need to go to police
by the way, I want to
officer.
ask some question to the chat. By the way, I see the one brother is watching. By the way, does it sound like she's lying? Like she's making all this stuff up? Like, does it sound like that, chat? By the way, can you guys answer? Does it sound like she's just making it up? Like, do you honestly think like this type of information, all this information she's giving, all the like name and like details, like, do you think like all of this can be made up? Like, chat, are you there? And the thing is that, and this is the accusation that all of the like this Chinese media and the Chinese shield put against like the Uyghur victims and like all the other kind of like victims as well. Like for example, in Tibet, like there's a lot of Tibetans who criticize the Chinese Communist Party, and they treat them the same way. They said, oh, they're lying. They make up fake documents and they put out like a bunch of reports and basically put out propaganda pieces using false document. Like even with like her, like they said that her child is apparently alive, but they don't show the child. Why not just show the child? If the baby is alive, then show us the baby. Like if her baby was born in like 2016, then she'd be what, like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, she'd be like 6 years old by now. Then surely you can show us the 6-year-old child. You can't do that because she's not alive or he's not alive. So you guys are fucking lying.
First,
The CJT
and they have
and the
they
Chinese
need to
Communist
take
Party
some
is lying.
information, and I go by myself. Police official is my Chinese two family. One of them come with me. When I go to police office in Chartan, I provide for U.S. government this location also. And then the police go back home, and the another 2 police take me one room. After that, they take me another room. Then they ask not stop to 3 day and a night. Then they ask question, and first 1 day normal chair, and they ask question. Second time they change me to like after second day they change me like let me sit to tiger chair. As this name is called tiger chair. They must be close your 2 handicap in the table.
Yeah. Okay. So this is something very common among the Uyghur survivors or Uyghur concentration camp survivors. So basically, they almost all of them say that they are taken into this interrogation room where they have a tiger chair. So in case you guys don't know, a tiger chair is basically like a chair like this, but the difference here is that the chair is that they tie your hands, and they can torture you as much as they like. Okay, so this is what a tiger chair is, and I talked about this in my previous videos. Again, you guys can check it out.
And from your leg, from your stomach, and from your neck to full back, you cannot move, and you cannot
By the way, she still has scars of this, and she talks about this.
do anything. And then, so they ask like 3 days.
How long were you in this tiger chair for?
More than 2 day, 2 night, 3 days.
You were in the tiger chair for 2 days, or 3 days and 3 nights.
Yes. One time I need to go bathroom. The police, they take me bathroom, and they are watching me behind. They have one room, and I have handicap. Of course, I cannot moving my clothes. This man helping me to moving my clothes, and I use the bathroom, and it's so hard to explain. Then they take me again to stay in tiger chair. They didn't give me anything to eat. Of course, this is very scary, very horrible time. Nobody can feeling hungry. And then they ask this every like 5 or 6 men. They ask us this question. This room, it's dark, no window, only have one big lamp in your.
Yeah, this is something you'll see common among a lot of like Uyghur survivors. They said that they're basically taken into this room, and then they're tortured for a very long period of time. And the thing is that I see some like Chinese shill make the argument that some of their accounts doesn't add up, and this is a common argument you'll hear from like these Chinese shills. But the thing is that when it comes to like victims of like abuse or victims of like torture, and this is well known in psychology, which is that when you're like abused or suffer some kind of trauma, you always have trouble remembering the past. So sometimes and this is something, there's a lot of research paper that showed this, which is that sometimes people have very difficult times remembering what happened in the past. So what happens is that sometimes they kind of exaggerate, or sometimes they forget details. Okay, this is something very common with like victims of trauma, but that doesn't mean they're lying or they're like misinformed or whatever, right? It simply means that they're having a hard time remembering it. And so this is a bogus argument. Okay, and the thing is that what you have to do is that you have to look up all the different testimonies, which is something that inshallah we'll do on this channel, and you will see that there's some common themes, and it's impossible for all of these people to lie. That's just not practical. I mean, why would all these people lie? That doesn't make sense, especially because their details are all matching up. Okay, especially in some cases. And so it's impossible for them, all of them, to like just come together and just lie. That's just ridiculous. So which shows that, and the Chinese government obviously have reason to lie. Not only do they have reason to lie, they have lied in the past. They put out like false information, but regardless, let's continue.
Behind your eyes, and the one table, and the 2 or 3 police writing in the computer, another 4 and 5 police ask some question from you, and they take from the electric his hand, and something like I don't know, some beating something.
So they beat you with an electric baton?
No, they give me electric button in my head, but they beat me with this stick, and then with his hand for my face.
Okay.
So that time they ask a lot of like what I am doing in outside China. Like they ask a question from I born, I small school, high school, in military school, who I studied together, who is my teacher, who I know what I am, how all my life story. Even when I'm walking the street, I am talking with friend, who's friend, close friend, how, and then after that, how I understand, study, pray. I know pray or no. I can read in Quran, and then why I wear hijab. After, like, I'm very tired. This multiple questions, they are continue asked. Today he finished, like, he has more than 300 something like question. After the writing finished second day, and when did
So basically, they're like trying to take like kind of like psychological profiles of them, probably. And this could be one of the reasons they do this is because they're trying to make sure that they fit kind of like the criteria that they have. Because if the Uyghurs are not religious or whatever, then they're not a threat to them. And this is something you'll see in again in common with like the Uyghur victims. Is that most of them were religious. Okay, most of them either wear garb or like hijab, or like read the Quran, or could speak Arabic, or have traveled abroad, right? And when you have like this type of like themes, this type of details, if they match their like profile, they're gonna like keep them locked up. Either they're going to keep them locked up or they're going to release them. Okay, and this is something I've noticed as I've heard a lot of like testimonies. This is very common. So yeah, this is again, this is probably true because it's being confirmed by multiple different witnesses.
done their question, and they ask again, like, repeat another question, like, what
Did
time?
you? So
Like,
you were there for 3 days and 3 nights. Did you sleep at all?
no. Sometimes I feel like this, and then because very tired, and then they put water in my face, and then I will wake up, and then they speak so bad, like, open your eyes, bitch. This is not your sleeping place. Answer to our question, and they become very bad for me. After last, and then I'm very tired. Then they are like, give me some medicine, to want me eat this medicine. Then after when I eat this medicine, I feeling like I lost scary, and I feel like I when I listen voice also like not normal. I don't remember what he asked me and what I am answer. I don't know what is this medicine. And after second time, and then when
Yeah, this is
after
another
a
thing.
little bit,
uh, as you guys heard from her, which is that apparently they give them like some kind of pill. So if they swallow this pill, apparently it stops them from menstruating. And this is very common because I've heard this almost from almost every single Uyghur camp survivors. So basically, they're given this like blue kind of like pill. If they drink it, either they don't feel pain or they just don't feel kind of like menstruation, or they kind of feel dizzy or numb. And this is interesting. So, and who knows what they put in those pills? Allahu alam. But this is extremely horrifying. I mean, this almost sounds like a horror movie, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, it's some kind of horrible dystopian horror movie, right? So this state regime, it's basically is so obsessed with like keeping people in check to make sure that they don't disobey them, that they're literally like giving them pills and literally physically doing everything they can to make sure that these people do not like disobey them, like. So yeah, this is horrifying. This honestly sounds like a horror story, if I'm being completely honest.
I become good last time, and they ask again same question. Yesterday you tell me, you know pray. Who teach you pray? I say I don't know pray. I don't know reading Quran. I don't know any surah in the Quran. I am because I go to Egypt. I want to study like Egyptian people, so I wear the scarf because they are happy.
Yeah, I mean, like she has to say these things, right? I mean, if she says like she's a religious person, they're gonna keep torturing her. And this is, by the way, this is permissible in Islam. Like if you're like being tortured or being forced to like say renounce your shahada, then it is allowed for you to save your life. But deep down, obviously, she's still religious. And so yeah.
have too much not clean, so I cover my hair. And then I don't know reading Quran. I am not Muslim. Last time I tell him I am not Muslim. And they say, okay, but you know pray? I say, no, I don't know pray. He say, no, you lie. Somebody see you go to in masjid in Egypt. Then I shock. He say, who see me? And they say, you shut up. You don't ask me any question like who see me. Because every country you must know, every country we have more than 3,000 people work for us.
Yeah, this is interesting. So, and I didn't realize this until I again saw this. So China actually have spies that are working for them, and they have this all throughout the Muslim countries. Okay, so these people keep like tabs on you, and China is known for like having using spies and like spy software. But especially this is even worse for the Uyghurs. Okay, they constantly keep tabs on them, and subhanallah, like this shows that these people cannot be trusted. Like, how do you do like trades with them? And a lot of Muslim countries are like doing trades with them, and I'm pretty sure like you have like, and again, there have been countless evidence of like them spying on people, and I mean they spy on even like even like their normal like trade partners, let alone like the Uyghurs who are like a minority group. So they're, and again, like I said, this sounds like a horror movie, right? I mean, these people are so like freaking terrifying that they literally have you followed, even in a foreign country. Imagine the balls that they have. Okay, regardless, let's continue.
So if you don't say right way, we know you are a liar. Now is you lie for us because this, we are let you to stay this chair like 3 days. If you are answer right way, we don't do that. I say I am.
What would happen if you said, yes, I pray, yes, I read Quran, yes, I'm Muslim? What would have happened to you?
They pension me. I know. They pension me, and then I need to tell them who was teach me this pray. Who was who like they will if I say my father mother, they will pension my father mother because we able to this. I see this. I see. I don't know. I just know. I don't know. They want me get from me. I am Muslim. I know pray. Just have one because they have 2016 have new rule in China, new kanun. This is if anyone pray, anyone have religion, anyone have like reading Quran, some like this, he have pension less 16 year, 15 year, 20 year. Even wear hijab because by rule Islam have 15 year. But I see not.
So yeah, like if you like wearing hijab or like being religious, this is seen as a threat. They're not allowed to do that. And you'll see this, by the way, even if like all this kind of like Chinese shell and like Chinese propaganda sites, you'll see that if they like make videos on like the Uyghur region or the Xinjiang province, you'll see that no one is wearing hijab. Isn't that odd? I mean, you have a mostly Muslim predominant region, and no one is wearing hijab. No one is wearing the niqab. You don't think that's strange? And this is the reason why they're not allowed to, or they have like this hush hush rules where if you wear it, we're gonna take you to the camps. So yeah.
Not because I wear hijab not because Muslim. I cover my hair because my hair go down, and I study like from Egyptian people. So I am.
And again, this is especially the case with the Uyghurs. Now, I don't know how it is for like Han Chinese Muslims. This is probably not the case for the Han Chinese Muslim, because I think like they don't have these type of restrictions because the Han Chinese are the majority. Obviously, they don't want to like piece of the majority. But for the Uyghurs, being religious is seen as a threat, and this is what we're seeing.
Like take care of myself. I cover this. I just tell them like this because they know this, but I don't want to tell tell I am Muslim.
What what obviously in the camp we've heard about indoctrination classes or brainwashing. Did you go through any brainwashing in the camps? Did they teach you certain things about Islam, to forget about Islam, to renounce Islam, things like this?
No.
By the
No.
way, this is another reason why I know that she's not lying. Because if she wanted to portray like she was telling a false narrative, right, then she would have every reason to lie and say that yes, they're trying to brainwash you to make it seem like, to renounce your religion, right? That would be the first thing. Because if you want to vilify the Chinese government against the Muslims, then the best way to do that is to lie about them and say that, you know what, they are religiously persecuting us and they're forcing us to renounce our religion. But and that whether and in some cases that did happen, but this didn't always happen. And she's again affirming this, and this is how you know that she's telling the truth. Because if she wanted to really like truly make the Chinese government look like the villains, this is the best thing to do, but she didn't, which shows that she's saying the truth.
Can let me complete my this last one. Yeah. After and last time, and then they take my hair and then give me one cap in my head, and then they give me like open the electric charge.
Wow.
However, that doesn't mean there's no like religious persecution. I mean, like obviously they're still punishing them for religious reasons, but like not everyone is being forced to like renounce their religion. So I think that part is yeah, not everyone is like being forced to renounce their religion, but they're put into conditions where it becomes very difficult for people to become religious. Okay, you cannot wear the hijab, you cannot recite the Quran, you cannot know the Arabic, right? You have to say that like Xi Jinping is the best, that Winnie the Pooh is the best person in the world. So yeah, that's kind of like stuff nonsense like this. And this is basically indoctrination in a way.
Then that time electric charge and my whole body shake. If we touch some electric, is different, but this is from your head. It's very, very pain, whole body very pain. Then I just say, Ya Allah. And then this words come from my mouth because I scream, Ya Allah, help me. Then they stop this charge, and then they are asked a lot of like, you say Allah, where is the Allah? Tell your Allah come here fighting with me. I want to know he's strong or me is strong.
So if you hear what she's describing here, by the way, chat, can you guys hear properly what's being said? I know one person is watching. Brother, can you like write something in the chat? Like, is everything going all right? Can you guys hear? Like, is the fan like being noisy? Let me know. Chat, write something in the chat if you guys can hear me properly, because I can tell like there's not much activity in the chat room. Yeah, can you guys hear me, by the way? Hello, chat. Write something in the chat, inshallah. Okay, so what I was saying was that, so basically these people are the scumbags. They're saying that, insulting them by insulting their religion, and they're saying that, where's Allah and stuff like that. Yeah, you'll know when you go to hell. You'll know this. Don't worry. You'll know this, and then you'll understand where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is when he like he when trust me, when the day of judgment appears, you'll know. Okay, you'll know. And all your like brase like behavior, by the way, China and then like Chinese Communist Party, this is a message to you guys. By the brother below says yes, alhamdulillah. So anyway, so by the way, this is the same thing with like Pharaoh, right? The Pharaoh was extremely powerful, right? He thought that there's nothing that could touch him, and these people probably think the same way. They think that they think of themselves as like as so superior, even superior to gods, auzubillah, right? And so they're saying like, where's your God? Like they think that there's some big shot. When you die or when you're sick, trust me, you'll know. When your children dies, when you're in a position where she is, you'll understand. Okay. Then you're the one who's going to beg to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, trust me. But anyway, let's continue.
If you are Allah here, listen to you. Why he didn't coming now help you? So that
Again, like this is something that they use, like this type of torture device, because this is like mental torture, right? So basically they're like putting them in a condition where even where they basically like demotivated them so that they don't become religious, right? Again, this is a type of brainwashing, and they don't want them to be religious, and so they're saying these things like, where is your God, and blah blah blah. Again, like I said, like when you go to hell, you'll know. You'll know, bro. So yeah, and if you have the balls, by the whoever this Chinese official is, come say that in a Muslim majority country. See what happens. Okay, I dare you, come and say it in a Muslim majority country, instead of being a coward, torturing an innocent woman. Come and say that to our face. Okay, if you have the balls. I know that like you, I don't want to like make any like dirty jokes, but you cowards, you don't have the balls to do that. Okay, come and say it to my face. Go ahead, see what happens. Then you'll know uh, what happens. I mean,
meaning
it's
is
very easy to like have a gun pointed at someone's head and say that, oh, where's your, why don't you, God is protecting you. But when you die, or when you have the gun flipped on you, then you'll realize it. And this is the same type of attitude that Pharaoh had, right? And we read about this in the Quran. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala talks about them. And these people think that they're so superior that they can do whatever. But the moment it's flipped on them, they're gonna realize that actually, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be so brave.
there no Allah. That meaning is we are Allah, and Chinese Communist.
And one thing I really like about the Uyghurs is that they're extremely brave and they're patient, and their trust in Allah is very, very strong. Because even after all of this, they didn't lose faith. A lot of them, because it'd be very easy for them to leave Islam. You see all this kind of like scumbag ex-Muslims who leave Islam for like stupidest reason, right? I've made video on this on like APOS and all these other people. They leave Islam for just the stupidest reason. But here we see Uyghurs being tortured. They're being put into camps. Their children are being taken away. Their organs are being harvested. They still didn't left Islam. Subhanallah.
Party is your God. If we let you die, you will die. If we let you live, you will live. So, and tell me, where's Allah? I don't speak. And then the one open one time. Tell me where is he? Call him. And my body very shy. And I let him to please kill me. You know, you want to ask from someone to kill me. It's not easy. I say, I don't want life. I'm very tired. Please kill me. And then they are laughing. Say, no, let you die is not easily, because we need to take your inside every information you answered it. Let us. We will let you release. And then after that, I don't know what happened. And they take me to second day that in Urumqi in Cherchen, national hospital, like county hospital. Then from the county hospital, they check all our blood, every organ, kidney, heart, everything, and then they take me to in church, and this is prison. They take off all our clothes and then wear us prison clothes. Then that times I was at 210 cell number. Then here this cell number is 430 square feet, like big. Like very not very big, like small, but it's inside.
By the way, another way you can tell that someone is telling the truth is when like they're giving like all these details, right? And at the moment you hear that, you realize that actually people wouldn't just make this stuff up, right? And she's talking about all these details, like what she went through, like how she was treated, what her cell number was, how many people were in the cell, how they're being treated. Like she even gives details. Like there's like a whole article that took her. Like she appeared in front of Congress, and she told all the names of the people who were with her. These were her like neighbors, right? People don't mix the shit like this up. Okay, people cannot mix all these details up. Okay, so these are things that are actually happening, and sadly, a lot of Muslims are being brainwashed by the Chinese government, and they are believing them. Like, guys, just wake up. Okay, they're not lying. This is happening. But regardless, let's continue.
More than 60 women together. Young one is 17-year-old and the old one is 62 years old.
So you're saying 60 people in one cell room?
Yes.
So yeah, she even told them what age they were, right?
60 people, one cell room. And of course, every 2 days is 3-5 women they take outside, and then 5-6 women they enter at inside like this. And also, if is this cell room, we are never go outside from the cell. Inside have woman more than 13 months, year and the months, doesn't take shower. And this cell inside smell is so bad because we have only one window from upstairs, not this upstairs have window. And when every morning they open the window, have police and behind the window.
Well, like, can you imagine, like, you're being put into like this disgusting area where you're being forced to. There's so many people, and none of them are being allowed to even take showers. Okay, and it's interesting. I saw like Alex O'Connor. By the way, you guys know Alex O'Connor. He's like this atheist YouTuber. You guys know him, by the way, in the chat. Can you guys tell me if you guys know who Alex is? So basically, it's like cosmic skeptic, right? He is like whining about like animals, right? Talk about like privilege, right? White privilege. So he's like talking about like animals, right, or whatever nonsense, saying that animals are being tortured, they're being kept into horrible conditions, all together like this. Yeah, human beings are being treated like that right now. Okay, and you guys don't talk about this, but you're like crying about animals. Subhanallah, right? I mean, like, the priorities of people are so messed up right now. I mean, they literally care more about animals than they do about human beings. And it's just, I honestly don't know what to say, like this. But you guys, let's continue.
Sometimes the police open windows, they speak to us from upstairs. And the cell is 4 places have cameras, they watching us for 24 hours, have one light. This light never close, 24-hour light. And the right side, left side, and this have something like listen to our voice, and they talk to us. Somebody speak with us from this side coming. And even we are talking behind some us, why you cry, or what is your name? They are listening, they are watching, and they speak. They are never call us our name. Because why? Because this I didn't know and sell all a woman name. I just know 15 or 16 woman name because I asked them. And a lot of people don't know we are together. We don't know our names. They call us our number because everybody we are wear prison clothes, blue clothes. We are here, and then on backside have our number. They call us number 15. Shut your mouth. Number 15. Don't speak. Stand up. Sit down. They call us. So in the cell, we don't have bed. I hear about some people he has sleeping in the bed, but we don't have bed. We don't have blanket. We don't have a pillow. We don't have anything. We are only have prison clothes, and some women have prison sleepers, and more than 30 women doesn't have sleepers. Not even not have shoes, not have socks. They are wear, and then we are like me, like we have more than 7 dangerous people in the prison, in this cell room. We are the 7 people. Is our handicap 24-hour in our hand, and our leg have another handicap, and from leg to hand, and have one is they are close us, so we cannot stand up.
Yeah, does this sound like education center? The Chinese government is like, they're saying like this is like simply education center. Does this what kind of education center is this? Like, they're putting people in like chains. I mean, sounds like some amazing education center, some really amazing education going on here.
Like this, we always stand up like this. So, and then is this because still very
By the way,
small?
this information is also being repeated by many Uyghur survivors, which is that they're like put into chains in a way where they have to sit like this.
When we sleep every night, like 40 or 45 women, we are sleeping like in the downstairs, like all look at right side and like stay like very close, very tiny, because still is very small. And another 20, 23, 25 women stand up, because no place they are sleep, no place they are sit down. They are look at us. And then after
Can you imagine? Like, I mean, they're so crammed together that some woman doesn't even have place to sleep, so they have to stand up. So on and on.
2 hours, and another 20 people want to sleep, and another people and stand up, like we are every 2 hours return back to watching, because
So you're taking like duties, sleeping and standing up. You're taking turns.
yes, yes. But I hear, of course, in another people they let us stand up, we don't know why, but in our cell we know why, because we don't have the place sleeping, even sit down. Yeah, and even if we using bathroom, also every people cannot more than 3 times one day. Even we want us like every morning, like 6:30, 5:30 or 6:30 sometimes they like and ring. All must be stand up 5 minutes. Very faster stand up, and then they have 7 or 5 like army something like blue blanket something. We want to study like make him to like very.
So again, you notice how she's giving all these details, like at what time they had to do what, right? So basically, obviously, in a prison camp like this, they would have daily routines, right? Daily schedules, and she's basically describing this. And again, this again shows that she's telling the truth. I mean, there's no way you make up details like that, right? And and there's so many ways, like there's just so many ways this is like, I mean, I can't even describe like how many, how awful like this type of stuff is, because this is very similar to how the Nazis treated like the Jews, and the fact that this is still happening and everyone is just okay with it, especially with the Muslim community, like no one talks about this, and this is extremely tragic. Like this is extremely tragic. Like I sometimes see these like big YouTubers, sometimes they talk about this, but then they just completely act as if like this is not happening. And and I hear that some like Chinese shield, they said that, yes, there were concentration camps, but they were only taken because they're terrorists and whatever. No, they were not taken because they're terrorists. These people are innocent. Okay. And and it's so obvious that they're simply being taken because they are religious, and because they are Uyghur, they speak the language, they're seen as a threat. But regardless, let's continue.
Beautiful cross
And I
like
think we're almost coming to the end.
make fix
Inshallah,
it,
I'll wrap it up.
because he want coming check us to do this. After that, and then we were stand up waiting to go bathroom. We are waiting one go, and all watching us, all camera watching us, all people watching us. It's not like bathroom, it's like small place, no cover, no sea, and because like us, like handicap, have handicap woman, if we use the bathroom, we need to fix our clothes, we cannot. So another people, he's helping our clothes, and then we stand up, he's helping our clothes. It's very horrible life. And after that, we don't have drink water, we don't have wash face, brush teeth, no. After that, we waiting sap, waiting like all waiting to behind the door. Door have small place. They are open from this, and they are open. Then some Chinese coming like breakfast. It's breakfast. Sometime like when you wash rice.
By the way, guys, I'm sorry if I'm not saying a lot of things. I'm just kind of baffled, because like it's a lot to process. So sorry about if I'm giving not being so commentative, but inshallah I will give my like final thoughts on all of this. And yeah.
have something like white soup, something. No oil, no salt, no vegetable, no meat, no anything. They coming like everybody one plastic using one time plastic paper. This one spoon soup. One sometime one like small bread, steam bread, and but we get this food is also very not easy. Everybody waiting. We are tell him like Chinese they calling kohao, something like song, and then he listened to we speak right
By the way, some of the Uyghur survivors, they said that apparently some of them are forced to eat pig because they're Muslim, or forced to drink alcohol. This is something also that happened. Inshallah, I will be reacting to a lot of those testimonies as well, inshallah, in the future. But yeah, let's go through with this one.
Chinese words, and then they give us this bread. If we don't,
So it's given like a reward. If you do something right, they give it to you.
yeah, because everybody when we are locked, they open door and we speak them by some kind of this is very fast as we speak, and then must be very good by Chinese speaking, and then they give us. If sometimes we speak wrong, and they throw food downstairs, or sometimes they didn't give us.
By the way, may I ask something in the chat? By the way, did you guys watch Squid Game? It's like this Korean show where like people are like forced to play a game. Chat, you guys there? Can you guys like comment? Let me know. Because what's interesting is that in Squid Game, basically they have like people who are like in debt, and they're forced to like play this game. And this sounds. Brother Below said, "I know about the concept." Yeah, this sounds very similar to that. I mean, at least in like Squid Game, they like win like some kind of cash money prize, right? Here, they don't get anything. The only thing they get is that like their freedom, but not even that. And they're away from their families. And the thing is that, again, I talked about this in my previous video. I keep mentioning this, but in my previous video, I talked about this, that they have a whole database of all the people that are missing, right? They're presumably right now in the concentration camp, and their family members have no idea what happened to them. Again, I posted the link of that website in my previous video. You guys can check it out. And they basically have the database of all the people that are missing. And the Chinese government says that they don't know what happened to them. Like, this is just complete nonsense. Anyway, let's continue.
And not easy also. A lot of women, Uyghur women, because we are not easy, we cannot remember this. Sometimes someone is speak wrong. Yeah. And then after that, we are in the cell, we don't go outside, never. And then we are like every day, for example, today you, second day another one, and second day another one. We are like become like group manager. Like we like left, right, left, and they stand up, sit down, and like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like army. We are doing in this stay our place.
Brother Baby Boss said, brother, thanks for making these videos, because nowadays nobody is ready to talk about this, unfortunately. Thanks, bro. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I plan to react to all these different testimonies by the Uyghurs. But I shout out to Talkies Turkestan and brother Aslan Hidayat. If you guys are not watching their YouTube channel, go subscribe to that channel. They have a lot of testimonies of the Uyghurs on that channel. And the brother Aslan Hidayat is taking a lot of like interviews with these Uyghur victims. So definitely go and support them, inshallah. And yeah, let's continue.
And then we
also, by
like,
the way, I will post a donation link of a Muslim zakat fund, which is trying to help the Uyghur refugees that are in Turkey right now. So if you guys can help out, then please do consider helping them out. Or if you can, just make dua for them. Okay, inshallah.
Speaking like Chinese Communist Party good, and they have a lot of song. They give us one book, Chinese book. We are not study like we are remember the song, and memorizes everything. But like me, like I can speak Chinese. I study Chinese school, but in our city, a lot of women, a lot don't know because we are studying in Uyghur school before and we speak Uyghur language. So if they don't know, oh, their life is so hard. Yeah, and then we are remember this, and then we are teach together, and then we song like Xi Jinping good and Chinese Communist Party good. The Chinese Communist Party, our God, give us this good life. Oh, we
Yeah,
like.
by the way, this is an testimony that I hear from a lot of other Uyghurs as well, which is that they're forced to kind of sing this like stupid song about the Chinese Communist Party, about how amazing they are, right? Winnie the Pooh is great. Winnie the Pooh is amazing, right? Winnie the Pooh is the best, right? I mean, I wonder, there's this comedy kind of like movie, I don't know where it is, where they basically showed like a North Korean leader, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Kim Jong-un, right? Kim Jong-un's favorite channel is like basically himself. Basically they have like a channel, and on that channel all they talk about is like Kim Jong-un, right? So this is like how like this stupid kind of like fascist leader mindset works. He thinks that like everything has to be about him and like his political party, right? Every citizen has to like sing their song. They have to praise them. They have to like talk about them constantly 24/7. This is just not how human beings work, right? And that's the thing. Even with like religion, like even with religious position, because there's a hadith I remember, but the Prophet ﷺ said. So basically, he heard a few people talk about how like they're going to give up everything, marriage and whatever, because they want to be completely religious. And the Prophet ﷺ, rebuked them. He said that no, I'm your prophet, and I do all the things that normal people do, right? And that's the thing, right? I mean, and yet you see like this type of strange, stupid, like crazy, obsessive behavior from like these fascist leaders, and it's just sad. Brother Baby Boss says now nobody in the West is talking about this issue. Also, Sweden child kidnapping issue. Yeah, inshallah, I also want to talk about this Sweden child kidnapping issue as well. So, in case you guys don't know, in like Sweden, they're basically kidnapping children or like taking children away from the parents. But inshallah, that's a different topic. I'll talk about it, inshallah. But regardless, continue.
Like this. And
What,
every
what do you think the reason is for doing that? Why do they make you memorize songs praising the Chinese Communist Party and saying that they are God?
they are because I remember the song all and a lot of this book I remember because I memorized that time. If I memorize, they didn't beat me a lot, so I cannot, my body cannot stop this. I try to memorize. So this, if you study this, you feeling you can do everything for thanks for China. Like you are very Chinese, you are very love China, feeling your life, your good, your food, your this is like China is all the most best country. China and the Chinese Communist Party
Yeah,
must.
basically they turned their own country into a god, right? Auzubillah. So this is how the idea of shirk comes in, right? So basically they've given all the attributes of what is supposed to be a religion to nationality or national identity or your government, right? And this is the type of loyalty they want from their citizens. And this is why ultranationalism is so dangerous, right? And basically this is like a cult, right? I mean, if this was like done by like some like small minority people, we'd be calling them a cult. And this is exactly how cults behave. And it's just this is so strange.
The bad like best government. They are fighting a lot of people and gives this good life, gives this food, gives this world, gives us our this normal life. Now we can eating, we are normal life, everything. They are doing very hard fighting with a lot of country, a lot of people. So they do all because us. And that times you forget your mom, your son, even you feeling like you very guilty. they are a little bit near to wash my mind. I feeling like very little bit guilty. I feeling I go out from China. I hate all outside China people that time. Also,
Yeah, this is another thing. So basically there's a lot of like internal racism, uh especially when it comes to like Chinese, like this type of like ultra Chinese nationalists. They basically hate like other ethnicities and other like countries. This is how they brainwash you, and this is the same in my country by the way. But I don't talk about my country, Bangladesh, but we also have a very similar situation going on, but I won't get into detail because that might get me into trouble. But and the thing is, we also have a lot of influence of Chinese in here, and I don't talk about this, and maybe one day if I ever leave this country I will talk about it. But yeah, this is very common when it comes to like this kind of like fascist countries. And brother baby boss said, I don't understand why people in North Korea still follow Kim Jong. Why not they are protesting against him or start leaving the country? Yeah, you can't. That's the thing. If you try to leave, they kill you, right? And they have so much control inside the country that it becomes very difficult. Okay, like for example, they have people who are supposed to spy on other people, and if you don't spy on them, they kill you. Okay, if there's like a family member who is speaking ill of like Kim Jong Un, then the other family members have to like speak out against them. If they don't, then they're either killed, tortured, or sent to like this kind of horrible labor camps. And this is something that happens, and like and any kind of like religion is not allowed. You're not allowed to carry a Bible or the Quran or whatever, or you're only allowed to praise like the North Korean leader. And the things are very similar in China too, as you're hearing right now. uh, Brother, please tell us what's happening in Bangladesh. Can you give us a hint what's happening there? Yeah, I mean, just take a look at like Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera has some really good stuff on Bangladesh and what's happening. They had a very good documentary that came out a few days ago. It's called All the President's Men. I highly recommend you guys to check it out. And that's all I'll say. Okay, I won't say anything because that might get me into trouble. But yeah, but regardless, let's continue.
so bad. No, China is best. And the feeling like is you Chinese government, you can do whatever Chinese government want to from
Yeah,
you.
so
What?
basically they're using like this emotional brainwashing or emotional manipulation where they're saying that, oh, look at this, the Chinese government is doing so much for you, right? We're building all these bridges, we're like making all this, we're giving all this money, we're giving you all this job, but you're not being grateful to us, right? So this is like emotional manipulation, because the thing is that all governments in the world does that. You're not special just because like your government is doing it. Like all government has to do it, right? I mean, you guys take our money, of course you have to do it. I mean, that's what every government does. Like that doesn't make you special. And it's just stupid, like. But this is how they like try to main brainwash you. They have to. Another thing they do is that, especially when it comes to like this kind of like type of like fascist government, is that they try to make you feel guilty by showing sacrifices that people have made in the past, right? So they'll show that, oh, look, all these people, they have died for their country. It's so horrible, right? But you're not being supporting of your government, so you're a horrible person too, because you're not supporting, you're like disrespecting all these people that died. But if you like look back at history, what actually happened is that these people were like simply trying to protect their own family members, and who doesn't want to do that? But they were like, they thought that maybe having a separate country would be better somehow, but that has no relation with like with the government. Like, I have no reason to be loyal to the government. So the logic doesn't follow. But regardless, let's continue.
But like it's really brainwashed. And then you don't never ever believe
Yeah, it's brainwashing.
there is have your religion. No, you slowly you will understand our God is really this is Chinese. This is God like yeah. Stuff like that.
So now you've obviously seen with the tribunal that what's been going on is labeled as a genocide. Many countries have labeled it as a genocide. What do you say to organizations like the Organization for Islamic Cooperation, who fail to call out on China's atrocities and other quote unquote Muslim countries who are not supportive of the Uyghur plight. Do you have a message for these organizations and countries?
Yeah, I want to tell all Muslim country, if you are, cut your deep heart, if you are really good Muslim, behind was Muslim people, behind was Muslim Uyghur, and then become our voice, let Chinese stop genocide. And then wake up, let them to wake up, don't become your life is second Uyghur life. If they are do same like this, believe Chinese government and stay with Chinese government together, they are after the future, their situation is become second Uyghur situation. I believe that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, thank you.
that's a good point. I mean, like, if you're a Muslim country, right, and this is a good message for like Imran Khan, right? And I don't mean to be disrespectful to any like Pakistani brothers out there who might support Imran Khan. Again, I have nothing against that. You guys may support him for whatever reason, but recently he made an interview where he completely denied Uyghur genocide, and it's so sad, it's so tragic, because a lot of these Muslim leaders, they think that you can make deal with the devil, right? Or you can make deals with like countries like America or China. You can't. Okay, these people don't care about you. Okay, these people don't care about Muslims. They're looking after their own interest, right? For example, even now, a lot of the Uyghurs are being used by the American government. Okay, and I know this, but the thing is that the Uyghurs have nowhere else to turn because the Muslims are silent. Okay, we're silent. So of course the Americans are going to take advantage of this. Like, and in a situation like this, it is the job of people like Imran Khan to show support. But instead of showing support, you're denying this. So where are they going to turn? Of course, they're going to turn to the U.S. government, and the U.S. government is going to take advantage of them. And that's the thing. And China is doing the same thing. So because in the Muslim world, there's this like heavy emphasis on like anti-West, right? And I don't deny that. I know that what the West has been horrible to us, and of course we should criticize them because these liberals are scumbags, and they should be criticized. And but the thing is that we have to stand up for ourselves first. We have to put ourselves first, right? We have to be smart, because when we look at these type of atrocities and we are quiet because we think that somehow this is going to affect our trade deal, trust me, this Chinese, this type of like Chinese, the way their mind works, they're going to take advantage of you. And like the sister said, you're going to become the second Xinjiang province. Okay, so be very careful. Be very careful. Brother Baby Boss said that Pakistan is totally depends on China. Yeah, I mean, like, and I talked about this in my previous video. And by the way, I don't blame like any kind of like my China Pakistani brothers out there. Again, we love you guys, because I'm not trying to whitewash the situation. I know that economic situation in Pakistan is very, very dire, and I understand maybe some of the reason why they might make the decisions that they make. But at the same time, you have to understand the Sunnah. You cannot go against the Sunnah. And the Sunnah is that you have to stand up for the Muslims first. Okay? And sometimes that means, and by the way, the Chinese is not even helping Pakistan that much anyway. I mean, and this is something we need to understand. We need to come together and solve our own issues, right? And instead, we're just being too dependent on like non-Muslim countries. But regardless, let's continue on.
So much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Get this story out there. Make sure you go and check out Mihrigul Tursun's book. If you could buy it, I assume it's going to be on Amazon. So I hope you guys can, go out there, read her story, and hopefully it's of benefit. Thank you, Sister Mihrigul. Until next time, I'm just going to close out the show, and then I'm going to say my goodbyes afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Until next time, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, that was the video. Thank you guys for being here. It's been a long stream. Um, and yeah, and in the end, I just want to say this, that thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to do this stream because I feel like a lot of people are just ignoring this issue, and we can be like seasonal, kind of like seasonal charities where they just help people when it's seasonal. They just forget about them. I mean, we have to do what we can, because otherwise, I mean, the thing is that we have to constantly talk about this. Otherwise, it's not going to get anywhere. So we have to constantly talk about these issues, and it's very important that we raise awareness for these issues, because otherwise, no one else is going to help us, right? If we don't do it or help our own brothers and sisters, then no one else is going to help us. And it's sunnah, right? I mean, if you can speak out for our Uyghur brothers and sisters, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I read in the hadith, you guys saw this. There are hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you can relieve the stress of a believer or Muslims or other people, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will relieve your stress on the day of judgment, right? So on the day of judgment, if you want to be worry free or not have this much stress, then do what you can against people, Muslims who are being oppressed. I don't know, donate in charities, do whatever you can. Okay, so yeah, with this I want to end this video, and inshallah I'll make more videos like this to raise awareness regarding the Uyghur situation, because a lot of Muslims still are in denial. They don't believe like anything's happening in Xinjiang province or in China, which is absolutely false. And inshallah, I'll see you guys next time. Again, thank you guys for watching, and inshallah I'll do more of these videos where I react to this type of testimonies. And yeah, and again, like, share, subscribe the video, and go and subscribe to Talk is Turkestan. And yeah, and again, if you guys want to support me on Patreon, you can do that. The link is in the description. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.